Господин председатель,
Mr. President, I would like to just say a few words regarding a point of order. We would like to ask you to please clarify what is the basis you are proposing to give the floor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine and to give them the floor before members of the UN Security Council speak. We have nothing against his statement, but the UN Security Council has its rules which were established long before Malta became president of the UN Security Council, became a member rather of the UN Security Council, and you, Mr. President, could at least provide me with the answers to my question.
которые были установлены задолго до того, как Мальта стала членом Совета Безопасности.
I take note of the points raised by the representative of the Russian Federation. This debate is being held on the one-year anniversary since the beginning of the war in Ukraine, and the presidency sees value in allowing Ukraine's foreign minister take the floor before all the other members of the council on this occasion as per Rule 33 of Note 507.
What are we witnessing today is yet another attempt to give certain rights to a group of the country, whereas you, as a representative of the Golden Billion, give preference to Ukraine just because she is part of your geopolitical project. It turns out that it would seem that the problems of the rest of the world are of no concern to you. The same applies to the unprecedented number of delegations invited today under Rule 37, 12 EU countries in addition to the High Representative Joseph Borrell. It's clear that all of these countries who have the same EU position dictated from Brussels will bring in no added value to the discussion.
12 стран Евросоюза вдобавок высокого представителя Жозепа Борреля.
I regret the fact that the Maltese presidency time and again ignored the rules of procedure of the Council and thus plays its own national position. The position of EU about its responsibility of presidency, which is supposed to make sure that the procedures are upheld and be impartial. We acknowledge that Malta is not carrying out this task, and this confirms us in our opinion that there is no added value to expand the Council with Western countries because you are turning the Council into your own instrument.
Once again, I take note of the points raised by the representative of the Russian Federation. May I also remind that, for instance, the foreign minister of Serbia spoke before the Security Council members at least twice in the last two meetings on MIC. And with regard to the list of speakers under Rule 37, the presidency took note of the fact that all these requests came from foreign ministers who took the time to travel to New York to be at the United Nations on this anniversary. This clearly indicates that they feel that their countries have been and are still being directly impacted by this war. The agenda is adopted.
The Russian invasion of Ukraine is a blatant violation of the United Nations Charter and international law. It has unleashed widespread death, destruction, and displacement. Attacks on civilian and civilian infrastructure have caused many casualties and terrible suffering. The Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights has documented dozens of cases of conflict-related sexual violence against men, women, and girls. Life is a living hell for the people of Ukraine. An estimated 17.6 million people, nearly 40% of the population of Ukraine, require humanitarian assistance and protection. The crisis has erased 30% of pre-war jobs. The World Food Programme estimates that nearly 40% of Ukrainians are unable to afford or access enough food. And the war has sparked a displacement crisis not seen in Europe in decades. The World Food Programme estimates that nearly 40% of Ukrainians are unable to afford. Les menaces à peine voilées de recours à l'arme nucléaire dans le cadre du conflit ont fait grimper le risque nucléaire à un niveau jamais